What if every triumph and setback in your life were not random at all, but echoes from choices you made long ago? What if the smile you offered a stranger this morning were already on its way back to greet you in a moment of need, an invisible boomerang of goodwill you launched without even noticing? And what if, with a single mindful breath, you could begin to steer this hidden current, guiding tomorrow's events instead of drifting through them? Have you ever paused to wonder why certain scenes keep playing out in your life? Why some people seem to move through the world surrounded by quiet grace, while others wrestle with disappointment at every turn? Is it merely luck, or is there a subtler power at work behind the curtain? Buddhist teachings tell us that this power is karma, the universal law of cause and effect woven through our thoughts, words, and deeds. Like a silent architect, karma molds both your present moment and the road that stretches ahead. Today, let's trace its blueprint together and discover how you can reshape your own destiny using timeless Buddhist wisdom. In Buddhism, karma is not a cosmic system of rewards and punishments handed down from above. It is the most ordinary and therefore most profound principle imaginable. Every action bears fruit. Picture your mind as fertile soil. When you plant an apple seed, patience and sunlight will eventually coax forth an apple tree. Scatter thorn seeds, and you should not be surprised when brambles rise instead of orchids. In the same way, acts of kindness, honesty, and patience sprout into future moments of peace, while seeds of anger and greed mature into knots of suffering. Yet karma goes deeper than visible actions. Intention is the secret ingredient. Two people may give identical gifts, but if one offers from genuine compassion and the other from a hunger for praise, the karmic ripples diverge like rivers flowing in opposite directions. Karma, then, is not predestined fate. It is an ever-unfolding path you pave with each heartbeat and breath. Look around. The life you inhabit right now is no accident. It is stitched together by yesterday's choices, some from this morning, others from years or even lifetimes past. Perhaps you know someone whose gentle nature seems to draw opportunities the way blossoms draw bees. Or you have met another who struggles uphill no matter how diligently they climb. Buddhist wisdom suggests these patterns are not coincidences. They are streams of karma finding their level. But here lies the liberating truth. Karma is fluid, not fixed. Imagine it as a mighty river. The current may be shaped by distant storms you barely remember, yet you are still the boatman holding the oar. You can let the flow push you in circles, battle it head-on until exhaustion, or learn to read the water and glide toward calmer shores. Each present moment choice becomes a stroke of the paddle, a chance to shift direction. Every gesture, however small, sends vibrations across the vast lake of existence. A single moment of patience with a restless child can blossom years later into a bond of trust. One careless outburst may linger like smoke in a room long after the fire has burned out. Consider how the tone you use with a colleague today may color their memory of you forever. Generosity draws abundance in forms we rarely predict, whereas hoarding breeds a quiet emptiness even a full bank account cannot cure. Clutching resentment locks you in yesterday's prison. The key of forgiveness swings the door wide. It is tempting to point an accusing finger at the past, parents, society, previous mistakes, when life feels harsh. Yet Buddhism reminds us that this very breath is a fresh canvas. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" shift the question to, what fresh seed can I plant right now that will change the harvest? The answer whispers through your everyday thoughts, words, and actions. Choose them with care, and the unseen gears of karma will begin to turn in your favor. So, take a moment. Feel the awe in your hands. Recognize that each compassionate thought, each truthful word, each mindful deed is a deliberate stroke steering you toward brighter horizons. If karma shapes your life, does that mean you are trapped by your past? Absolutely not. Buddhist wisdom likens karma to malleable clay. Yes, the lump may already hold certain grooves from yesterday's fingers, yet with fresh awareness and steady effort, you can knead, smooth, and refashion it into something entirely new. So how do you break free from negative karma and create positive change? It begins, always, with conscious action. Below are 5 interlocking practices, each one a lantern that brightens the path ahead and lengthens your stride. 1. Practicing mindfulness, lighting the first spark of transformation. Picture yourself walking through a dense forest at twilight. Without a lamp, you stumble over exposed roots, scratch your arms on low branches, and curse the darkness. Place a single candle in your palm, though, and everything shifts. Obstacles reveal themselves before you collide with them. This candle is mindfulness. By cultivating present moment awareness, you begin catching anger in the split second before it flares into harsh words, sensing jealousy before it curdles your thoughts, and noticing fear before it drives reckless choices. Mindfulness turns blind reaction into skillful response, and every clear-eyed decision plants seeds for a more compassionate tomorrow. 2. Cultivating compassion, the quickest way to purify karma. Compassion is often called a fire, but it burns without smoke or ash. When someone wounds you, choosing forgiveness over revenge stops the echo of harm in its tracks. Each selfless gesture, a listening ear, an unexpected favor, a warm smile to a weary stranger, radiates invisible waves that travel farther than you may ever know. The Buddha's timeless reminder rings true. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. Think of compassion as spiritual sunlight. The more generously you shine it outward, the more vibrant blossoms return to decorate your own path. 3. The power of right speech. Words that sculpt your karma. Words are seeds slipped into fertile ground every time you open your mouth. Some sprout into fragrant flowers of friendship, others into thorny thickets of regret. A single sentence voiced in anger can linger like an echo in a canyon. A phrase spoken with honesty and kindness can ease a burden that has weighed on someone for years. Before speaking, pause. Will these words sow hurt or harmony? If they promise peace, you water the field of good karma. If not, silence is often the most skillful alternative. 4th, generosity, unlocking the flow of true abundance. In Buddhism, generosity, dana, is celebrated as one of the highest virtues because it dissolves the illusion of separation. Real giving expects nothing in return, yet paradoxically invites the universe to give back in unpredictable ways. Offering money or food to someone in need plants seeds of future security in your own life. Sharing wisdom multiplies insight for both speaker and listener. Even giving your undivided time can transform a stranger's heavy day into one of hope. Clutching possessions breeds scarcity. Opening your hands allows abundance to rush in like water, filling an empty cup. 5. Patience and forgiveness, setting down the stones of the past. Carrying grudges is like hauling a sack of rocks up a mountain you never meant to climb. Each memory of betrayal, each replayed mistake, adds another stone. The moment you choose to forgive, whether yourself, another person, or life itself, you loosen the knotted rope binding that weight to your back. Patience works alongside forgiveness, whispering that karma is always in motion. Injustice today can ripen into unexpected blessings tomorrow if you keep sowing good seeds. Learn from old errors, then leave them behind. Free your hands, and they are suddenly available to craft a brighter future, one mindful choice at a time. Karma, then, is not a prison, but a workshop. With mindfulness as your lamp, compassion as your hearth, right speech as your chisel, generosity as your open door, and patience as your steady breath, you can reshape yesterday's clay into tomorrow's masterpiece. Mindfulness is the gateway to transforming your karma moment by moment. When you live mindfully, you're no longer swept away by unconscious reactions. Instead, you begin to witness the space between stimulus and response. You catch yourself before shouting in anger and pause before acting out of selfishness. You become aware of your intentions before they crystallize into action. This awareness is the first step toward planting seeds of good karma. Think of it like this. Your mind is a garden. Without mindfulness, it grows wild. Thorns of jealousy, weeds of regret, roots of anger. But when you tend it with attention, you see each thought as a seed. You choose which to water, which to let go. Meditation helps you become the quiet gardener, watching the weather of your emotions and learning to respond instead of react. When you meditate, you learn to observe your thoughts and emotions without immediately identifying with them. Anger comes. You notice it. Sadness arises. You allow it without resistance. You learn that feelings are visitors, not masters. And with this insight, you begin to act from clarity, not compulsion. That is how good karma flows, not from perfection, but from presence. Let me share with you a powerful Buddhist story that perfectly captures this truth. There was once a man whose life was filled with hardship. Poverty clung to him, and no matter what he did, misfortune followed. One day, weary and hopeless, he approached the Buddha and asked, "Why is suffering my constant companion?" The Buddha looked at him with calm understanding and replied, "In a past life, you were wealthy, but your heart was closed. You saw people in need and turned them away. That karma followed you here. But remember, your story is still being written. Begin choosing kindness now, and your path will change." The man took those words to heart. Though he had little, he began giving from that little, sharing a piece of bread, offering his time, speaking words of comfort to others. Slowly, a transformation began. Joy visited him more often. His burdens lightened. Unexpected opportunities arose. What changed wasn't the world. It was the energy he sent into it. This story reminds us, karma is not punishment. It's an invitation to grow, to act with greater awareness, to become the author of our future rather than the victim of our past. So no matter where you are right now, remember this. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are the choices you make from this moment forward. Be mindful of your thoughts. Speak with intention. Act with compassion. Each time you choose kindness over anger, generosity over greed, or patience over frustration, you shift your karmic path. So ask yourself gently, right now, what kind of karma am I creating today? What seeds am I planting with the thoughts I think, the words I speak, the actions I take. If you found value in this message, help us spread good karma. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Buddhism Seeds, and share it with someone who may need this wisdom today. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. What has mindfulness taught you on your journey? Leave a comment below.